Hello, let me introduce our tutor today, Florence, and our parents volunteer check-in. Florence likes baking bread because it trains a person's patience. It's an honor to have her to come to Finland from Hong Kong Island today to teach our parents and students to make bread. Florence, what kinds of cakes would you like to teach today?
I'm going to make a banana bread, but actually it's a cake because the shape of it looks like a loaf of bread, so we call it a banana bread, but actually it's banana cake. And then the second thing I would love to teach is triple chocolate cookies. So it's like chocolate cookies. So both are very simple to make. As long as you have an oven at home, then you can bake it yourself. It's 100% successful, so everyone can do that, so no worries. So that's what I'm going to do today. So hope you guys would like it.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let's get started. Let me first talk about the ingredients. So basically, if you call it banana bread, of course you have to have bananas. So normally I would use like a large banana, like 3 ripe one with the dark spot. It's better because the aroma will come out better. But today we only have this, but this it's okay too. So I'll probably use all of it because the more the taste, the better. So first thing is like put it in one bowl. So we have 5 here. I think it's good enough for 1 loaf. And then when you have this in a bowl, so use a fork to just smash it. Easy. If you have a hand mixer, you can use that too. So it'll be easier and faster, but this is okay. Just smash it as fine as possible. So you can leave some chunks, like a big chunk, so you have a bite on the banana when you eat it. So whatever condition you think is okay will do. So, okay, I think it's good enough. So like this. So it's like a smashed banana. And then you start to add some like oils and sugars and other stuff. So we call that wet ingredients. So basically, oil, I would use this to measure so it's easier. So this is 2/4. So you just pour it like almost full. Depends, like if you don't want your banana bread to be too oily, then you can reduce a little bit. But I think this is a good amount, which is not too much for this bread. And then this is brown sugar. I normally use like Japanese sugar because it tastes like mild and less sweet. So that's what I normally use when I baking for my cakes or bread. So again, same measure cup like this, and then just pour it. And then this is the most important thing for baking. This is called vanilla extract. So it has vanilla flavor, so give the banana bread like more flavor and taste better anyways. So for me, easier, use the cap like this. So just 2 small caps, 1, 2, and then of course for cakes or cookies, always eggs. So I use like 2, large or medium size is fine too. So just like this. Our wet ingredient is like this. Then you have a whisk and you just whisk it and make sure they combine all together. So this is exercise, right? Okay, so you can see like this. This is good enough. It's like basically bind together. And then you just put it aside. So for dry ingredients, we have the all-purpose flour. So basically all-purpose flour has less gluten. So it's not like bread. When you make bread, they have a high gluten, so it will form that texture of like the chewiness. But for cake, you don't want that chewiness. You want like fluffy and soft. So I use the all-purpose flour or 中干粉. This is the measuring cup, so 2 cups. So go all the way to the top. And then another dry ingredient is baking powder and baking soda. So normally for cakes, these 2 are the essential things to put in because the baking powder will make the cake stabilize, and then baking soda will help to rise, so you have that fluffiness of the cake. So for baking soda, I use like half a teaspoon, so very little. Alright, that's baking powder. And baking soda, use 1 teaspoon, so 2 half teaspoon. It's the same. Alright, like this. And then you have salt. So a lot of people are thinking, why dessert putting salt? But salt will make the flavor comes out more. So if you only use like sugar, it tastes like just sweetness. But if you use salt, it will bring out the sweetness and other flavor in your cake. So make sure you add salt with it. Depends, someone like a little bit saltier, then you can add more. But for me, this is like half a teaspoon. It's good. So for dry, it's like this. Now, thing is, if you do this, all the salt and powder and soda won't like bind together. So you just stir it and then you use sieve. So it'll make the flour and all those other ingredients to distribute like more evenly. So make sure you do this. Okay, this is done. You put your dry ingredient into your wet ingredient. And then you use spatula. So you just basically fold the flour in. Make sure don't overmix, because the more you mix, the harder the cake will get. So make sure you fold it gently and in one direction. So don't just like do this. So in one direction and from the bottom like this. So that's why you need patience to do this. You cannot like do it too fast. So the flour is going in like this. I don't know if you can smell, but I can smell like good flavor of bananas. Almost there. Normally when I do this at home, I will add some nuts like walnut, pecan, or some cranberries. But sorry, today I forgot to bring that. So this is like plain banana bread. But I have chocolate chips, so you can add some to it. So whatever things that you want to make your banana bread more interesting, you can try. So it's like experiments, doesn't matter. You know, chocolate and banana goes really well. So just a whole handful and just sprinkle in and fold again. Okay, see the texture? Really nice and glossy. Then you have a tin like this. If you have the round one for lo bak gold, it will work, so it doesn't matter. And then you brush some oil to your tin because it probably will stick. So I will like pour a little bit of oil and then brush it like the whole container. And that's it. Then you just have your batter. So this is it. If you want to have like the crunchiness to the cake, you can put some almond flakes. So it will be more like flavor and more like in terms of texture wise, you have the softness, you have the crunchiness. So that's how I make my banana bread normally. So this is it. The oven is ready and you just put in the center and set the temperature for 175 degrees Celsius. And then the time is like 45 to 50 minutes, depends. So when you take it out, you can use a fork or a chopstick or whatever to poke into the center. If the center is dry, no more like batter, then you can take it out. There you go. Very easy banana bread. Hi, it's me again. Today we'll like make the second dessert. It's called double chocolate chips cookie. So basically, why double chocolate? Because I normally use like 2 different types of chocolate, but today I only get one, so it doesn't matter. So this is Lindt or any brand that you want, but most importantly, you have to use dark chocolate. Otherwise, the taste will be too sweet and don't have the chocolate flavor. So I will pick like 70, but no more than 70 because otherwise it'll be too bitter. So this is the good amount of cacao in it. So basically, what we do today is called a double boiler. So you have these 2 blocks of chocolate in a big bowl, and you can just make it a smaller piece so it will melt easier. And then the second block in. So this chocolate basically is a very healthy version of cookies. You know, cookies use a lot of sugar, use a lot of butter, and all those like not so healthy stuff. But for me, this is dark chocolate, so it's good. And then I only use 25 grams of butter, which is very little. So this is the chocolate, and then I will cut like 25 grams of butter, half of this block. Turn it more. And what we call double boiler is you put your bowl into a pot with water, and then you just let it melt like this. But make sure that your water doesn't touch your bowl because it's not good for the chocolate. So you just let it sit there and melt. So it'll be very quick. And then another bowl, it's your other ingredient with sugar, eggs, and vanilla extract. Again, for, you know, cakes and cookies. These 3 things is like must have. So for sugar, my recipe only takes like 82 grams, which is a weird number, but that's my recipe. So I've tried different amount. So I think this is good, maybe a bit too much. And then with 1 egg only. And then again, this vanilla extract, this one use 1 cap, like kind of like 1 teaspoon. So this is one options that you can have. But if you can find something else like coffee extract or whatever flavor that you want, maybe orange or lemon, I don't know. So you can use whatever you like. You know, for me, vanilla is my top choice, and then like coffee extract is my like another favorite choice. But today I only bring this. You have this whisk, same thing. You just make sure all the sugar and eggs and vanilla extract combines, and very quick, just one directions. There you go, just like that. And set it aside. And then the last thing is flour, which is the dry ingredient. So see, using the same type of flour, which is for making cookies or like cakes. So this is the flour. So 44 grams of flour, like that. And then for this one, I use like baking powder only. So like half a teaspoon, this much. And then a pinch of salt. So use your finger and probably enough. Again, you set this aside. Okay, so there's like 3 different containers. One is for chocolate, one is for the eggs and sugar, and then the dry ingredients, the flour, salt, and baking powder. So see, it starts to melt like this. So you try to mix them well together. So if easier, you can use like room temperature butter, so it will melt faster, like this. If you have microwave at home, it'll be faster to use it, but I've never tried, so I normally use the double boiler just to be safe. Okay, so this is the right texture and condition of the chocolate. So it's like shiny and thick. So you can turn the here off. Okay, so now the second step is just do it little by little. Don't pour it in like one go. Because the chocolate is really hot, so if you pour it in one go, it will cook the egg. So do it like separately. And then take it off. And then you can just give it all to that egg batter. And then stir. Again, don't overmix. As long as they incorporate, then you stop. And then the dry ingredient for the last thing to put. So again, you sieve. You better sieve it because it'll make the salt and baking powder distribute more evenly. So like this. And then final, why you call it double chocolate or triple chocolate sometimes is because you add chocolate chips as well. So when you bite into it, you have those like chunks. Again, you can use anything like nuts, like dry fruit, like cranberry, raisin, walnut, pecan. Same, and different type of chocolate. I again use like the dark one, so because I like the bitterness of it. So this is it. Like then you fold it in. Same thing. Don't overmix. Don't like do it in different directions. Just one direction, and turn your bowl like this. Then it will combine easily. So this is the right texture. And then if you think that's not enough chocolate chips or you want to add more, you can always add more. So I'll add a bit more and then just fold in. So this is it. And then you scoop this with a spoon or ice cream scoop into the tray with the parchment paper, and just 1 scoop per cookies. You can make your own decision about the size. So I love to have a larger cookie, so this big scoop is good. So one like this batch can make about like 10 to 12 cookies, depends on the size. So if you want a bigger one, then maybe 10. If a small one, then maybe 12, I don't know. So let's see how much we can make today. Okay, it's 10, about 10, good. That's it. Today's double chocolate, so, which is fine. And then bake in 175, again, Celsius for 15 minutes. And there you have a very tasty chocolate chips cookies.